Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This is an unpromising rack. I don't have a bingo here, and it's going to be difficult to leave a decent rack leave. I'd certainly like to split up the duplicate T's and play off the Y and the U. I'm just wondering about Motty, but that does retain the U. Dotty's certainly good, and M and U have some synergy. So this is what I'm thinking of. Dotty, it would be nice to get rid of the U, but I just can't see a way of doing that. I don't think Doughty is good. D-O-U-T-Y. So I'm going with this. Not great. 5 vowels. And now I've got a V to go with the U, which is a bad combination. However, I think this is still too good to change, especially with scoring tiles like the M and the V. I've got meow on my rack, which would leave AV. That would address many of the problems. 26 for my opponent. So, well, look, meow can play down here. For 28 points, that's pretty good. And I don't think I'm going to be able to score more with that elsewhere. Great, I've got Axe and Zai if that spot remains available. And my X can also go underneath the O of Dotty. So hopefully I should be able to get a decent score this turn, but the rack leave may be fairly problematic. However, that will be a problem for the following turn. Okay, so Axe and X has been taken. So in row I could play Racks, or I could play Vex. Now, I'm level with my opponent. Vex, 45 points. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. The duplicate R is not too much of a problem, and I'd rather have duplicate R than RV. That looks quite a nice pickup. That looks close to a bingo. Not many floaters on this board. I thought for one moment I had Toreador in column 11. I don't. And the floating vowels in maybe are not particularly helpful with this rack. Now, although this rack looks nice, nicer than the previous ones because it's closer to a bingo, in the absence of a bingo, I don't have any scoring tiles, so I may struggle here. I've got an O for going in front of DE. Well, my opponent's just taken that spot. Not surprisingly, there wasn't too much on offer here. Now, what about a play in column 13? Nothing goes after OE that I've got. AB takes an A and an O. Well, I just can't use that to good effect. My D can go in front of OE. So I could play Do, keeping AERR. Only 15 points, which is pretty poor. My O can go in front of, or after up rather. So I could play Ode. For 16 points, well, not much difference there. I'm tempted to play Do here because it gives nothing away, and this board is not offering very much. I am 10 points ahead before playing this, so my opponent's going to struggle to score much, and he may therefore open the board with whatever he does play. And my rack leave isn't too bad. I have Cracker, and that plays in row F, making Ride. Through an I would have Crackia. My row F spot may go because there are not many places to play on this board. But if I do get to play it, it will open the board wide open and provide a lot of floaters. Just looking around for any alternate spots. Well, there's the T of Dotty, so I have Tracker, but that's not a bingo. I'm not sure about Tacker. I would have Creakier through an I, as well as Crackier. I can't see anything beginning with the I or E of Maybe. I don't think Creaker is good. Can't see anything ending with the I of Meow. My opponent may be drawn to the top right of the board, either underneath the IE of Maybe or next to... Ah, fantastic. My opponent does not block Cracker. So Cracker and Ride, 86. And that is a pretty good pickup. Is there a bingo here? I can't see a 7, although there could be one. I've got the un prefix. Now, what about the R of Cracker? Is anuresis good? Well, I think it should be, because I think anuretic is good. This will be very high probability, which probably means I haven't seen it for a while. Do I have anything beginning with the T of Dotty? I don't think so. That's not ringing any bells. Parafoil, I will check that. It's fine. So my opponent has taken my anuresis spot. He's just 11 points behind at the moment. New floaters are the P and L of Parafoil, and I've also got the C of Cracker, which I haven't really considered yet. 15 minutes on my clock. Well, I can't see anything with the C. What about the P? Can't see anything there. And the L. No, I can't see anything. Well, this is frustrating because this looks incredibly close to a bingo, but I'm not seeing one. So, how to sort the rack out? I don't have any scoring tiles at all, and it's a pretty good rack. If I just played off SU, I would have a very nice 5-letter set, especially with the floating constants of CP and L. So, is there anywhere good for SU? VUS not good. I'm not sure that there is. Pus takes out one of the floaters and only scores 10 points. So can I score better than that? Now, I think there is a bingo through the L. I think in new lasers is good, but that doesn't quite fit. I haven't given up on finding a bingo with this rack. Now, what about apneusis? I think that may be good, but it doesn't fit. I would need another S for sauciness. And an N for nuisances. Well, it's going to be annoying if there is a bingo here. Okay, well, I can't see one. So I can play Alfs for 24, keeping a pretty decent 4-letter rack leave. I am obstructing the C of, or taking out the C of Cracker, but I am providing a useful floater in the A, which goes quite nicely with this rack. And I am taking out a hotspot for my opponent, and 24 points is quite good with this rack. However, what about... I'm just wondering about playing SU. I could play SAW here, SAU. Only 19 points. I'm going to leave the parafoil hook open for my S. Not great. Now, what about Gleanies? I think Gleanies is good, so I think I do have a bingo through the L of parafoil. I can't see a 7 with this rack. I note that column 11, the second T of Dotty is available for bingos beginning with the T and also having T in second place. But I can't see a play which works. Great, only 10 points for my opponent and my Gleanie spot remains available. Gleanies for 68. Horrendous rack. Only one vowel. However, with the high scoring tiles, it's almost certainly better to play through this than change. So I've got Hun, H-U-N-H. Great, only 9 points for my opponent. Now Teg takes a U, so I could play H-U-N-H here. 25 points. If I played it under the S of Gleanies, 25 points, the same. Well, I'm not sure which is the best spot. Certainly, if I play it here, I'm stopping my opponent from playing down from the E of Gleanies. Score-wise, I'm 80 points up, so I'm in good shape. Hun doesn't take an S, so I'm not opening a bingo lane in column 13. So I think I prefer this spot, just probably not very much between them. Now, do I have a play coming down from the E of Gleanies? Don't think so. So, and am I missing anything super hot with my H? Maybe a play, a 5-letter play beginning at M3 with the H ending on the double letter square. Well, no, not that I can see. I'm going with this. That's pretty good. Through an A, I would have gradatum. The A of Alf's not quite in the right spot. No other A's available. Through an E, I would have migrated. Very few floaters on this board. And certainly none in open play. The I and the E would have to begin the word, and the A just isn't available for a bingo because it's obstructed by the G of Gleanies. Cracker takes nothing in front. In the absence of a bingo, this is a balanced rack with no duplicates, and I've got a scoring tile in the M. I'm in good shape. I'm 100 points up. There's still enough tiles, and the remaining tiles are quite bingo-y, so my opponent could come back and win this. But this is a reasonably nice position to be in 100 points up with a balanced rack, so I ought to be looking at getting 20 to 30 points with this rack. No super hot spots are springing to mind. I've got Maid in row M, M-A-I-D. However, that does open up column 14 for an S-ending bingo, and there's still 2 S's and 1 blank to come. I'd like to keep scoring. I certainly don't see the need to sacrifice a ton of points to close the board down. I prefer to try and outrun my opponents. Now, Ab takes an A, Do takes an R. Okay, well, I don't think there's anything great in column 13, and anything I do play will open up column 14. I note that Alp takes an A, so I could play Rad. Only 18 points. Now, I think there's going to be a better play in row B because Zo takes a D and an A in front. So I could play Gram across here. Keeping dit, that's quite nice. 31 points is a good score. Moo doesn't take anything in front, nor Azo only takes an L. 3 L's to come. Can I do better than this? Can I, for example, get my M or my D tripled? Not sure I can. I could play Tray Guy. An extra point, but then I'm providing a very easy 4-letter lane, and I don't need to do that, so I think I will go with this. Duplicate I. Now, I'm not sure. I think nitrids may be good. Can't see anywhere for that. Quite a few bingos with the E of maybe, but not beginning with the E. Maybe my opponent will open the board up. He is behind, so he may do so. 20 tiles in the bag. Just the J of the high-scoring tiles. I think nitrids is good. I will play it if I have the chance. But it doesn't play on this board as it stands. So, what to do if I can't bingo? I've got no scoring tiles at all. I would like to split up the duplicate I. If I played off just DI, I'd have a pretty decent 5-letter set. Let me look at the remaining vowel situation. 10 vowels out of 27 tiles, so it's too nice score for my opponent, 30 points, so he's just 90 behind, which emphasises the importance of keeping on scoring. Now, my point was that it's quite a dry bag. It's 2/3 consonants. So if I played off just DI, I'd be at risk of drawing 2 consonants and struggling to score. So it may be better to play off more tiles, and that would also expedite the end of the game. Tag only takes an S and a U afterwards, I think. I no longer have an A for going after out. 9 minutes on the clock. Nothing I've got goes after Zo apart from my S, which I'd quite like to keep. So quite a tricky rack here. I could play Viz, VIS. Only 22 points. And if I play her underneath Hun, then I'm opening up bingo lanes. So I'm going to struggle to score with this rack. What about a play? I could play Zorri here on the grounds that I've got the S. So next go, if I can't bingo, I can get maybe 30-odd points playing down column 8. And if my opponent burns his S there, then he will be reducing his chances of bingoing on subsequent moves. 14 points is pretty poor, but I'm not sure there's very much available on this board, and I am taking a point sacrifice for the chance of a good score next time. I don't pick up a scoring tile. I can't see a bingo with this rack. Well, I think I have Tyndalls, but there's nowhere for it. SH does take an A after it. So I can't play Tyndalls. I've got List in column 8 for 29 points. which is not as much as I was hoping to get, but at least it's a scoring option. Okay, well, my opponent goes in that spot. He burns 4 tiles. I don't have anything beginning with the E or the I. I now have an A for going after AB. My opponent's players provided nothing. "12 tiles left, and let me check the vowel situation. 6 out of 19 tiles, so I would like to hang on to my vowels. So, what to play? I don't think there's a bingo beginning with the I or the E. I can't see a good way of playing around Hun. Wow, this is a very tricky situation to be in. I could play Din. Only 9 points. That is just terrible. Is there really nothing better? So, play of Din. At least this is keeping me fairly flexible. But and I think it will be enough if my opponent doesn't bingo. Okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm getting short on time. Well, what about playing Lid instead? Slightly better rack leave, same score. That's quite nice. It's very nice, but is there a playable bingo? It really looks like there ought to be one here, but firstly, do I have Eastlin? Yes, I do. Eastlin and Tegs. Does that play anywhere else? So the anagrams here, entails. Okay, my opponent has blocked my bingo lane. He's created a new one, but let me think what the bingos here are. Eastlin, Elastin, entails, Slainty. I have Slainty and Wee. Fantastic. I am bingoing. Slainty, Staniel. Well, I don't think anything's going to be better than Slainty, or only marginally so. So, do I have a play coming down from the E? Which would be a much better play. It would score more and be less dangerous. 7 tiles in the bag, so if I play Slainty and then my opponent bingos, the game ends, but I'm 50 points ahead, so I think I can survive a bingo from my opponent. So I think Slainty is winning rather. So do I have something beginning with the E? Well, not that I can see. There may be several. Let me get this down. Slainty for 73. Wow, look at that. Fantastic. My opponent is not going to bingo with these 7 tiles on his rack, and I should be bingoing again. I've got Ebonized in column 15 and Ebonize in row O. Fantastic. So 4 minutes on my clock, 11 on my opponent's. No time trouble. I've got Boniest for a higher score in row O. I've got Ebionize in column 15. There may well be several bingos in row O which overlap many of the tiles in Slainty. $31 for my opponent, so I can just play Ebonized down here and end the game. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And the final score, 347 to my opponent, 527 to me, a winning margin of 180 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. So it was me to go fast. Motti was available, retaining DU. I played Dotty, keeping MU. MU slightly more synergy, Motti slightly more score, so not much between those. My opponent plays Be Pity. I quite fortunately now have Meow, which scores well and sorts the rack out. My opponent plays Maybe, and I have Vex for 45. My opponent has the Q. Does he play it? So this was his rack. He's got QI. He plays if. Okay, interesting. Now this is my rack. Great, I didn't miss a bingo here. Look at this, nothing more than 20 points. What I did was play Doe for 15, which is fine, only 4 off the best score and retaining a good 4-tile rack leave, so I like my play. My opponent plays Chi, and that's fantastic because I have Cracker at F2. It also plays at A7, making Riff, which I didn't consider. Great bingo by my opponent. Parafoil. Parfocal also available. Now, did I disgrace myself here? No. No missed bingo. What did I do? I played Alfs for 24, and I still like that. EINS is a very nice rack leave. My opponent plays Pooh, and that leaves Gleanies, which was the only bingo. My opponent plays Teg. I have a poor rack. I play Hun, and I play it at L9 for 25. 5 more points keeping Double H. I don't think is worth it. A14, Ingram, no, especially as that's opening up column 15, so I like my play. My opponent has Zelator, nowhere for it. Plays Zoe, and I have Gram for 31, which is a nice score and an okay rack leave. Opponent plays Jar. I have Nitrate, nowhere for it. Nothing scores more than 20. I play Zori for 14. And that may not be a great play. It does take an L and an S after it, and there were 3 L's unseen, so probably that was a poor play, but as you can see, very little on offer, and Zori was retaining a reasonable rack leave. My opponent plays Tile. I am again in a tricky position, very hard to score well, and I play Lid for 9, but keeping a very good rack leave. My opponent plays Rye, and my low-scoring play of the previous move pays off, as I have Slainty and Saltine. My opponent plays Dunner. I have a fabulous rack, and am able to go out with Ebonized for 80. So, a pretty interesting game. Very high scoring, over 500 points and nearly 200 points margin of victory. So pretty exciting stuff and some nice racks to consider. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time.